going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the fam. Shout out to everybody who've been supporting SheepstaysleepTV. Tonight, I'm back with another interview. I got my brother, the Darkness Awakens, aka Chef JT. You know, he's better known as Chef JT now. So I'm here today on behalf of SheepstaysleepTV to interview my brother. Shout out to everybody that's coming through. And this is gonna be a good interview, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all like and y'all share this. I've been doing these interviews for a little while now. Like I said before, if you want to be interviewed, email me, dsalliance1@gmail.com. That's dsalliance1@gmail.com. If you want me to interview you tonight, like I said, we got the Darkness Awakens, aka Chef JT. So I'm gonna let him come on and introduce himself, and we're gonna get this show going tonight, y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Chef JT, what's up, bro?
What's good with you, fam?
Man, I'm chilling, man. What's going on, man? Talk to the people.
Yo, this is the Darkness Awakens, better known as Chef JT, also aka the underrated Darkness, and I'm very humbled of this opportunity. You interviewed me, my brother DS1, and there's gonna be a whole lot of things y'all don't know. So all I can tell y'all, sit back and relax, and Chef JT gonna chef it up. Back to you, my brother. Again, thank you. And I'm very humble of this opportunity. Very humble. Thank you. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
No doubt, no doubt. So my man Chef JT, a lot of people, they don't know, where you come from as far as where you originated from on YouTube. So give people a little bit of your before we get into your YouTube background, if you care to share, give them a little bit of your personal background, where you from, where you currently reside, and just give them a little background on Chef JT.
Oh, no doubt. I'm originally from the source, Brooklyn, New York. That's where I hold my tools at, everything that I stood for, my troops and everything, like everybody here. Then, I was with the X, no doubt. Then I make my travels back to VA. At first, I was living with my older brother. He took me in, no doubt, and I was piecing back my life. Then, after I left from there, that's like no. When I first moved from New York, that was like, never. I always forget. Never forget this. January. I mean, I'm sorry. June 1st, 2012. I make my travels to VA, stay my brother, like my older brother. And then after that, a few months later, the same year, that's when I make my travel to Newport News, Virginia. And Hampton and Newport, Virginia is like Brooklyn and Queens. It's like close together. And so, by the grace of God, I've been piecing up my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been, been on my own for over 5 years. And that's it. You know what I mean? I'm here right now.
No doubt, no doubt. You you mentioned that you was with a an ex-girl or something like that, you care to share or give the people a little bit of history on that? Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't an easy transition from New York to VA. So could you get
Well,
them a little history on that?
I was with this young lady for almost 8 years. Things been bad for like last few years. She kicked me out, no doubt. And that was one of my lowest moments in my life. You know, I felt disvalued. I felt not appreciated. I felt that I did with all I can, and I felt I was growing as a human being, not as a black man, as a human being. So to take that, so to start your life in another state, in a different atmosphere, that wasn't really the hard part. Cause you know you in New York, you adapt to anything. You know what I'm saying, my brother. You know how it is. So because you make them travels with yourself, but with your family. So that's much more, dramatic. But get back to me, I think the hardest part is get over her. You know what I mean? It's the point is like it took me a while to get the system out. Really, I started really like when I moved like September. I remember I moved September 3rd of 2012. Like I said, Newport News. They call it the news down here. And I was working with my older brother at the time. That next week, celebrating like a week. I was on my own. And I was with my older brother. He would say, yo, he called my mother and said, Mom, you gotta call Jerry. Jerry don't look good. Because I started to break down. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get it out anyway. Fuck it, I'm gonna get it out. But I thought I was in my lowest point because before then I was doing security. I kept on working, so my mind was not working. My mind, I was not on that. You know what I mean? I was like putting my feelings aside, and so when I, start get back to the mix of things, moving, start living by myself, piece of things up, get my life going. My mom, my brother, he said, yo, you're not working today. I'm taking you home. So he called my mom's. And I never forget that I went to Dollar Tree and I bought like 2 Cristal. And I at the time I ain't had no fringe. I ain't had no fringe at the time. I ain't had none. So I was like sleeping on the floor and everything, and I was saying I never forget that where I'm sitting at, I'm like really a few inches from the wall. And I was crying, and my mom's like, why she did that? You know what I mean? Like, I was good though. I did what I can. And I would tell my mom some devious stuff that I'm not gonna pass on. But I remember my mom was telling me because I was raised as Jehovah's Witness, so I do have that spirituality within me. And she always said, "It's God's vengeance. It's not yours." And I cried, and I never forget that I took the crystal and I threw it, and it hit the wall. And then all of a sudden, I said, "Mom, it didn't break. It's real crystal." What do you mean, Mom? I went to Dollar Tree. It didn't break. It said "clink." So I cleaned up the stuff, and she was on the phone for like a next hour and a half, and I just broke down because I need that cleansingness. You know what I mean? Because at the time, God was giving me signs, but I was not seeing that, because I want to deal with the hurt, but I kept on working until God said, yo, God, like, tell me, no, you need to cleanse and move on my life. And he blessed my moms. And all through like the last hour and a half, my mom said, it's going to be all right, baby. And I said, it's not fair, Mom. I cried. I'm saying, like, when you invest time for that person, especially I'm talking about as a man, humanity, When you invest that time, and when you know you making necessary steps to provide for that family, and understand this, family, and I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna pass it back to you, Diaz, that when I'm talking about my son, that was my ex. See, you know, my son had died in the stomach in 2009. So that was playing on me too. Because I ain't really, like I said, I ain't really had the time to really like have closure. You know what I mean? And so all that I had to deal with that. And to that time, after that, you know, I'm start piecing back my life. You know what I'm saying? God had rescued me, and I start doing my thing. I start giving back to the community. I start doing other things again. It.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. So damn, that's crazy, man. That's deep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um so give us a little history of your life in New York, like as a child. Like what were some of the things you know you grew up doing in the city? Because you know a lot of people that come from the city, New York City that is, and they move other places. You know, a lot of them were, you know, a lot of them was hustlers, a lot of them was ball players, a lot of them were rappers, actors. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we pretty much leave the city to go other places, to not to just, you know, move away, but to go and you know, search for a career somewhere. So like, what were some of the things you was doing as a child when you did live in New York?
When I was a child, like I said, I was born and raised. I was, like I said, born and raised in Brooklyn. Like I said, I was raised as Jehovah's Witness, but at the same time, like I was saying, when I was developing my spiritual aspect, I began, and then when I was 5 years old, I start. That's when my political start kicking in. Learn about Africa from the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers had actually lived on my block, and so I started learning about the system. And that's when people understand, when I learn about the system, when I start talking about the system, that's my belief. That's other beliefs that come from. So I started learning about the Black Panther, my political, my universal political beliefs. And I started learning about the Black Panthers. And then at the same time, you know, that's when I started going to school. Then I started being, and then I was part of special ed. I started being a special education community, and I start seeing a lot of things that discriminate, especially as a young Black boy. And then by my spiritual beliefs and my political beliefs, I'm not saying that I was stray from other things. No, I was not sheltered. Nah. And at the time, I was the youngest. So at the time, I see or everything was going on, but I always question, or our fault. Why this going on here? Why they put drugs in our community? Why are we getting old books, racial books, like old Daphne Duck and all that derogatory thing? I used to question that, and the teachers didn't like that. I think the only three teachers that made an impact in my life, that Miss Tago of PS3, because that's when I was 8. That's how I really started learning about Africa. That's when I really started learning about white supremacy. And Mr. Collins, that's back at junior high 117. And my favorite one, PS305, Best Style, Dr. Juanita Watts. She was the one that really pushed me up Africa. You know, she's really pushing me, learn about the arts of it, learn about white supremacy, learn up how to stick your chest and be a man. She always challenged me. Always challenged me. Why? Always challenge me, stand up, no matter what. And so that by me going through life and everything, now we hitting the 80s. The 80s had that thing that if you dark skinned, you was no good. So it's a complex. And so I had to deal with that. And other than that, so I had to deal with that. So at certain times I was isolated. Something happened to me when I was young. I'm not gonna get into that, but I had to overcome that too. And but so for me, it was always I had to prove myself. But at the time when I was a preteen, I ain't, at first I didn't like the position I was in until I remember what the Black Panthers was saying, that you got to understand when you black, you always got to prove yourself, because they're not gonna give you the just due that you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the activists kick in now. And that's when I really started to challenge. That's when I really started to really understand. And as you know, from Brooklyn, I'm from Atlantic Terminal. As short, they call the term. So I know Biggie Smalls. You know what I mean? I know other people. I seen other people. And also the sports arena that they built on Flatbush Avenue, 1/3 of my life from the term, I'm from around there. So I actually see how everything surfaced within the 30 years of part of my life. And so Brooklyn has shaped me to be the person that I am. Brooklyn had helped me because I had good people I'm surrounded by good people, but at the same time, they want me to see the truths of our people, and then, I used to be talk to the drug dealers, and they always, nah, this ain't true. You got to kick the truth, So for me, I could say it's a gift or a curse, but at the same time, though, I kept on moving. I got married in 95, 9.5 years. But, my activism always was growing. And while you was talking, Brother Israel Doctrine, when you were talking about New York, I want people to understand that was a great time for us as people in New York. And I remember I participate of this. Now, there are some scams was out there too, but it was a beautiful time, be at LIU, at the ballroom, be at Fort Greene Park, walk up and down, Fulton Street, and you see all these scholars was forming, and you just go to the corner store, the Boniqua spot, get your soda and a sandwich and some chips, and you eat that, and you just absorb that. That was a way of life in Brooklyn. Brooklyn was the spot of New York at that time. I'm talking about in the 90s, going into 2000. I said like mid 80s, going into 2000s. That was a great time for New York for us as a people. And so it's like my scholarship was growing at the time, So that's my basis from. So when I moved to Virginia, you know what I'm saying, it's, I was adopting to the atmosphere, but personally I didn't.
I got you. I know how you feel about that. Because I basically did the same thing when I was young. My mom's me and my mom's had moved to Virginia after I finished elementary school. So I know how you feel as far as the personal adjustment or whatever. But that's interesting what you were saying, how, it was a female who taught you to stand up for your rights. and
Mm-hmm.
to always be proud to be a black man. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting because, you know, um, there's a lot of women, you know, today on social media who feel like women don't play a part in black men's lives. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very, very interesting that you said that, man. You know, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, so next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, give us a little bit of your YouTube background. Like, when did you first get on YouTube? What was your purpose for being on YouTube? And
Ooh.
give us some things that happened, you know, along your course. You know, because I know you was on YouTube longer than me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and me and you pretty much stumbled into each other. You know, with just being on platforms and stuff like that, and we just developed
Yes.
a very good friendship. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, let the people know, you know, when you got on YouTube, and what was your purpose and what's some things that happened to
Well, basically, my purpose was really doing what I'm doing right now, but that was derailed. I was protecting a sister that I thought I was, and I had a conference call number, and I got violated, and so everything started kicking in. It wasn't like oh, it was a process. You know what I mean? I became a banger, protecting a sister that I thought I was, falling off my core that I was raised on, like I was saying before. But at the same time, I made certain decisions that was not good. And I could admit to that. And what happened was it was like a lot of things was like even before we started, so like you said, D to the S to the one. You know, my name. Now let me change that. My rep was ripped apart. It was actually people. I could tell you right now, it was actually people know what I was doing. They know they know that these other people was lying on me, and they still walk on to this day. And so, but like I said, I take full responsibility for what I'm doing, and I've done it for a long time for the system. And then you heard. I know people heard about the regime. I'm not gonna get into that, but that during the time I was getting thrown under the bus. And I see for what it is. And that's when I had to take my first exile. Because at the time, one of my godsons got into trouble. So it was life and death. So I had to take an exile. Part of it, I had to take an exile for that and make sure he's good. Now God bless, he's good right now. And then that's when you come into the picture. We stumble each other. And then that's when you talk to you and the next person. I'm not gonna say no names because he's not here to defend himself, whatever. But you offer us a platform to talk about what we want to do, like empower our people, to do things. And for me personally, it was like a bright light for me because I was always called for doing that. See, now I'm gonna go back a little bit to understand if you understand what I'm saying. When I was living with the ex, I was part of the Bible study. You know what I mean? I was part of the Bible study. So at times I was acting president, I was acting vice president, I was the acting treasury, and I was the youngest of the Bible. I was the youngest of the Bible student, a Bible study. So I was always around leadership. So when I was banging, I took like many steps back. Now to speed it up again, because I want people to understand this. Now to speed it up again, So that's when other people, that's when you come to the picture, and then we start joining your platform. That's when I start now I start, developing my own concept. I always had concepts like the bright light and the dull light. I created that, and you want me to emphasize on that, so I did that. That I created the doom shots. That you can ask me later on about them to create that, and so I always create match our community, no matter if it's good or bad. It's like my own way, just trying to reach the people, trying to keep it simple as it can. So now get back to the story. So it was like a lot of dirtiness was going on. It was a lot of backdoor bullshit was going on that I was getting smeared. And so, as people already know me as JT Blackness, JT Blackness was my banging name. I've developed that good black smoke and that bad black smoke. I was smoking people, and along with some good people was getting hurt. And I had to come to grips with that was wrong. But at the same time, I had to protect my existence. I'm the one come up with that too. So I had to protect my rep, like you said there months ago. I had to protect my rep. I had to protect my existence because people trying to clown me. So I had to do what I got to do. And so when all this was going down, I felt I was not respected. I felt a lot of people was like turning their back. I can say a lot of people. There's some people that I thought they was cool. They turned their back on me. So what happened was that was during the time that JT Blackness had to go in the closet. I got to close that. So little by little, that's when the underrated darkness was born. And that's when I took my second exile. And that was longer than the first exile because at that time, I was tapped out. That was like I had to get back to my activism when I was younger. That's when I became a teenager and in my early 20s. And had to get back into that. Like you always said, brother, let's get back to the information. So I had to like get back to the information, and along the way, I made amends of good people, like Strange May. She called Strange Magic now. Other people too. I'm not gonna say no names, but I had to say something about this sister because at the time I had this certain hatred of what the black woman had done to me personally. And she helped me a lot. She respect my value, even including yours too. But I know people want to say, what about the other one? We ain't talking about the other one. We ain't talking about the other one. So, but at the same time, JT Blackness is in the corner. The Grand Reaper. That's known as for me too. JT Blackness is in the corner. I don't want to let him out no more. I want him to be closed shut. Because I already did what I had to do. There's some people say I'm a legend of this. I don't want to be, that's part of it. That's part of me. Like I'm a Gemini, so I go either way. It's cool though. I can acknowledge that. But the underrated darkness comes. And that's when I start doing my thing that I fun to deal with. That's when I start cooking again. I start, let the information impact me instead of I'm the information. Because when I was banging, right, I was the information, but it wasn't right. I want to say that again. I want people to understand. I was information. So when I was the information, it wasn't no leeway for me to get out of that, because that's all I knew. It was like a fast track. It wasn't no stop. It wasn't no, I didn't see no, it was green light. I didn't see no red light. Red light makes you think, people. So I had to develop that red light in my life. So that I had to work on that of my second exile. The second exile, I had to sit down and think, yo, Jay, this is not true. And there was a lot of people was like throwing stones on me, and come to find out it was lies. And all I'm just doing is just, just protect women, to protect our women. And I was getting slaughtered. My name was getting slaughtered, was taken apart and everything. So when I was taking my second exile during the time, my God kids was hearing that. You know what I'm saying? It was people in BK, I call the source, was hearing that, like, yo, that ain't true. You don't know why they saying it, but I said I did certain things, I was banging, that comes with it. See, people don't understand that this banging thing. When you bang, there's protocols to that. You're going to be in it, you're going to be in it. You're going to slaughter somebody's existence. There's no motion with it. I don't care, you're a black man, black woman. There's no emotion in it. You don't get no sleep. Yes, all you know. But at the same time, when I'm talking about the bright light and the dull light, I was in the dull light for a long time. And I got tired, brother. I got tired. I need the bright light. I need to get back to days when I used to do years ago. And that's when the underrated darkness started coming. That's when John Doe gave me that name, Chef JT. And I wanna give homage to him. He the one gave me that word, Chef JT. Because people see me chef in the kitchen. But I take it one thing better. I'm chefing it when I give out information too. So that's when the underrated doctor, because I feel I'm underrated. People want to give my just due, but see, at the same time, I'm not sweating that though, because I'm a jack of all trades. Now you'll see me in my form. You see me, I'm in that good bag. And I'm doing my thing, and I'm happy what I'm doing right now. But that was always me years ago. What y'all see me right now, I've been doing that years. So I've been part of this conscious community for a very long time. For a very long time. But I got sidetracked. So that's when I came back to YouTube, that's when that's when my transition had to come in full form. I had to understand what I did wrong. And I had to repent within myself. So I had to develop my value, within myself again. Because I felt I've been taken advantage of. But at the same time, I had to say that I caused this destruction. And so I want people to go to my channel, look for that, look for the transformation. Transition. So when I transition, a lot of things are going to be thrown at you. There's a whole lot of things people don't understand. You walk in my shoes, you know what I'm talking about. And so now I'm into the transition. Now I'm transforming now. You know what I'm saying? There's people taking shots at me right now, but JT Blackness is in the corner. I don't want to get him out. No? And so now, right now, I'm growing my channel organically. You know what I mean? I'm getting, ever since I came from the second exile, I gained almost 35 subs. Come on. That's God's blessing right there, because he knows I'm trying. Because, see, I'm walking to righteousness now. See, people don't understand. I'm not talking about the spiritual concept. I'm talking about the literal concept. I want to walk into righteousness. I want to walk in the narrow path. I want to see the prize. I don't want to be the unrighteous. I don't want to be no broader path. Because the broader path will take you in many days that you get into trouble. You're not going to be disciplined. I want to be more disciplined now. So the things I'm doing right now, I've been there, done that in the conscious community years ago. I'm just taking it to the next level, brother. That's all. Taking it to the next level within myself to give it back to the voiceless ones and do what I just want to serve. I just want to, like people say, I just want to play ball, brother. I just want to play ball. If you didn't go let me play ball, I'm going to play ball. If I had to go through you to play ball for our people and plus for humanity, that's what I got to do. That's it.
No doubt, bro. And just to let the people know, when the brother's saying that he was a banger, he not talking about gang banging. He talking about being a YouTube roaster. He's one of the, legendary YouTube roasters. And he pretty much came from doing that. Saying. And now that, he's made a transition to see what's important about having a platform, he's where he's at today. So let me ask you a question about these concepts that you be coming up with, like the new one that you came out with that's basically becoming real hot on YouTube is Simple Ho. You came up with that. If y'all wonder where I got that from, I got that from my brother Chef JT. What's some other ones you came up with, brother? And let the people know, how you come up with these concepts. And
you gotta help me out. You gotta help me out because I come up with quite a few. Come and think about it, I come with the dull light and the bright light. When I talk about the dull light, let's go paraphrase. The dull light means that you in darkness. And that means that you don't want to be awakened. When you see the bright, see the dull light, you can see the dull light you see in one corner. You there's nothing, there's just a few there. So anybody trying to come at you, they can come at you because they see you from the dull light. But at the same time, you see the bright light. It's like you can see everything. You know where to go. You know where I can't do bad because it's right here, but I could do good. So the bright light make you see, and see the dull light clog your lens. The bright light brighten your lens. Let me see what else. Doom shots. I'm still working on doom shots. Somebody trying to come for my existence.
Yeah, that was from your roasting days. Doom shots.
That was my roasting days. So, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn. What I'm gonna do soon as when my platform start getting bigger, when I start developing my mods and everything, and we're gonna get the nonsense out. So I'm working on that. Ho, Coon and Coonette.
Overnight moments.
Overnight moments, right? I come up with that. That's me. Whole less.
Yeah, break that down, bro.
Whole less. I gotta break it down. Wholeless means these women. I'm gonna call wholeless now. Wholeless means that these women that they consider themselves pro-black, but they always talk destruction of the black man. they talk imaginary, but they bunch of zeros. See, when you see a hole, right? You look through it. Now, after matters like that, that's up to you. So I call them holers because they ain't nothing. See, when you put something in that hole, it stands there. It's matters there. When you look through that hole and there's nothing there, that's how you thinking. There's nothing. You don't want to follow nothing. You just want to go through it. And there's no accountability. There's nothing that you could sit on when you fill that hole up. Because see, when you fill that hole up, you got to work at it. See, that's what I call them holeless.
Okay. So now, let's fast forward a little bit. When did you first start cooking, and what made you fall in love with cooking?
I started cooking when I was very young. My late father was a chef. Come to find out, he made his transition in 89. On Christmas Eve, he would have been 90, he would have been living. But I learned that from my father. My father was a chef. He was an excellent cooker, excellent baker. Matter of fact, I got to work on my baker too, come to find out. And my mom's side of the family were also excellent cooks. But at the same time, it was much more to that, my brother. But I'm talking about us as boys. They always show us, you got to learn how to clean and cook. You got to learn how to pay bills. You got to learn like the iron, hang up curtains and all that, because some of these women don't know how to do those things. And I remember my grandmother, she used to explain me to this, that the world is changing now. And I remember she was telling me, and I was like, I believe back in 79, because that's when my youngest brother was born. He was a few months old, come find out. And I remember she was telling me this world is changing now. So that means as a man, you got to stand up being a man. And I got it, but I didn't get it. But when I got older, and when she passed away in 96, that's when I started knowing. Because when she passed away in 96, I was going on a year on my marriage. I'm my ex-wife. So I started learning cooking. I started learning how to do different things, domestic things. I started learning how to pay bills. So part of that, get back to cooking. I'm sorry. Get back to cooking. I started learning for each and every. I learned how to, when you fix a plate, if y'all notice, how to be professional, how to learn how to do different seasons of different meats, how to fuse different things. My father always said that never be afraid to fuse different things. And so that's when I got my cooking from all of them. But basically it's from my late father. Yeah.
Okay.
And my grandma, I'm sorry, and my grandmother, my mom, so I'm sorry. Gotta put them in it too.
Okay. And do you like just cooking for yourself, or did you cook for your ex-wife? Did you cook for people in your family? Like, do other people like your food?
That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question, my brother, because throughout the years, right, I've been in relationships that women was cooking, that now to cook. So I didn't really have to really cook all that much. I did some cooking when I was in relationships. I think I did more cooking in my relationship when I was in New York with the ex. I did a little more cooking. But when I left from Virginia, right, I didn't really do all that, because I was like getting things in the house, because my zeal for the cooking at the time was even there. I really get back to the cooking of 2013. It just came over me, and I started knocking out plate. I did 2 dishes. I could do 2 different dishes for within 2 hours, and I started posting on Facebook. And at the time, I was on Tango, you know, video thing. And then I sent one of my things in, and for, you know, my dish made one of the local newspapers in Newport News. My dish was like the dish of the week. Yeah, on Tango, 2013. They showed a little slit, and then they took it off and everything. Yeah, so that's when I started really getting into it and cooking and stuff. You know, but see, the thing about I always like cook for myself. But you know, it's true though. When a man know how to cook, yo, women they win them. Yeah, they like that. Yeah, but that's another story. I ain't even cook for no women. You know, you just want to eat my cooking, eat and go. You know, no. You ain't gonna do that. So, but like I always had the joy of cooking. You know what I'm saying? That was my joy. That was one of my talents. And that was like a hidden talent for me for a very long time. I didn't know that I was like really like this Chef JT that John Doe gave me. I know I was all right, but I was like really like doing my thing when I did the plate of that on dang, I forgot. I did some chicken. I fused with that and some candy yams. You know what I'm saying? I remember all the things that my father was showing me. I didn't know what I remember, but I did my thing and it came out right and everything. And so basically, I consider myself a late bloomer, so to say. You know, that's it. I came a late bloomer. But when I came a late bloomer, I ran with it and I keep on running with it and I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's about it. Yes, that's the bottom. You know.
So, what made you want to start, you know, cooking on your YouTube channel? Like, what was your what was your influence, and you know what keeps you confident in cooking on your channel and showing people your food and stuff like that? Because you know, in this sector of YouTube, you don't see too much, you know, you don't see too many channels like that. You know, you will actually have to go to actual cooking channels, but you are actually in what we want to call a pro-black sector of YouTube, and you're
Yeah,
actually doing something creative that a lot of people are not doing. So, what made you want to take that on? You know, because
I
that's a big step.
yeah, that's an excellent question, D to that's to the one. That's an excellent question. Why I did that? Because it was a very essential to show brothers that you can cook for yourself. That's all about advocating for yourself. So I guess that was part of my push to let brothers know that you can cook for your family. You can cook for yourself. You can fellowship with your family. So for me, I want to let the brothers know that you can cook for yourself. You don't need you don't see and I let the brothers know that you don't have to wait for a woman to cook for you. You cook for yourself. And now during that time, as you already know, there's one. That's when I start teaching people how to read labels, and brothers too, also sisters too, but especially brothers, because us as brothers, we got the stigma that we don't know how to do certain things, but it's not true. I'm a prime example of that. So I took upon myself, so I have to show brothers, but at the same time, I started having enjoyment. That was like part of myself giving to the community. You know, like we always say, we trendsetters. So I want to be a trendsetter, but it ain't all about me. It's trendsetter for our brothers, for our community, and let it stand out. Let them know, yo, that brother, you know, he take his time. If I could do it, I know I could do it. JT could do it. So that was like my personal love to let the brothers know that you could do it too. And cooking is not easy. You got to know what you're doing in the kitchen. You got to know what seasoning what you do. You got to know what temperature when you put different meats, when you make different rice. You got to check out you got to check out different flavors of different things. It's all about acquiring information. And so when I already had that creative juice, that's when I be coming out with the Mexican and soulful Spanish and all that. Because I want to be different. Now I learned that from my mother. I learned from my late father, my mother, my grandmother, how to be different. You know what I mean? And so I always emphasize you can cook good food to be healthy first. If anybody know that I'm trying to cook healthy, but at the same time, the food tastes good, but at the same time, I could also show you how to break it down so the young ones in our community can eat it. So I always thinking about the family concept when I cook. And it's very important to me to do that. So as for me, being single, living alone, it's my thing, giving it back to the community. And it started to catch on as you saying. So that's what I do. But when I cook, I have to want to cook. If I don't want to cook, I'm not going to do it. So, but that's when I start doing that. That's when I start developing how to read labels. Because that's the key too, brothers. We gotta learn how to read labels. We gotta learn how much the percentage of cholesterol is. Artificial flavor, total carbohydrates, all that. We gotta learn. We gotta learn how to read percentages of this sugar, grams, many grams, all of that. That's what I also want to bring to the table too. To understand the importance. So that's what I do. That's what I want to do. Just get back. And also sisters too, learn how to cook. Because you get a Swanson dinner. Cooking doesn't mean when you buy a frozen Swanson dinner and then you get some and mix it up top, and then you put it in the damn oven. That's not fucking cooking. That's lazy cooking. That's half-ass cooking. That's fake-ass poor black cooking. That's not cooking. Cooking means when you chop up the vegetable. Cooking means when you marinate that meat. Cooking means when you see certain things, you start fusing. That is cooking. Cooking is labor, but it's a tireless, loving labor that I like to do. That's one of my talents. Excellent question, though. That's an excellent question.
No doubt, bro. You giving some good answers too. I like how you elaborating and you going in. So what do you see for the future for your cooking channel? Do you plan on, expanding it to a catering business? Do you plan on, starting to cook for outside people, or is it just gonna be something that, you use as a hobby? Do you plan on furthering, you know, um, your skills? Like, you plan on taking any cooking classes or anything like that?
Well, I've been thinking about that for the last 4 months, and I'm just gonna leave it in God's hands. And then wherever you want to take me, you're gonna take me. But I believe that in the future, that my calling, my bigger calling of cooking, it would happen. I just got to be persistent of it. And also, I want to work on the baker too. I want to work on learn how to bake too, because that's very essential too. And I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing right now. I just want to keep on inspiring brothers. Brothers, you have to learn how to cook. That's part of survival. I say it again, brothers, you have to learn how to cook. There's nothing wrong to spend extra to cook for yourself, because if you keep on buying these products that is frozen or is already pre-cooked and everything, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting your kids and you're hurting your wife or your girlfriend, whatever it is. And it goes for sisters too. We have to put in the time of going these farmer markets. We have to put in the time, and sometimes you have to spend a little more so you could eat healthy, you could taste the food and the fellowship of the kids. And I urge brothers, teach your kids how to cook. Mother, I'm talking about sisters too. You gotta teach them, because the way how things is right now, it's gonna be all about survival. Especially the damn tax cuts. And they thinking about taking away food stamps and other things within the system. And I want to say this one thing, brother, and I'm going to turn it back to you. Now, I know some people be saying that they don't like about the system and stuff like that. We need to do without the system. You got to work with the system. We don't have nothing back, and we leasing for centuries. We got to develop this capitalistic mindset that I came up with, that leasing. We got to stop leasing our money. I also come up with that concept. We have to develop this entrepreneur mindset, and we got to teach our kids how to survive, because things is going to get critical for us. And part of that is cooking. You got to show our kids how to cook. And don't do no lazy ass cooking. Back at you, brother. Thank you.
I agree. So yeah, that's that's very interesting, man. So are you ready to take questions from the chat? I don't know if people was
No
putting their
problem.
questions in, but you ready to take questions from the chat, or do you got anything else you want to touch on before we take any questions?
Well, do you have any question to ask me before you take the question from the chat?
Um, um, I mean, nah, I pretty much asked you. I pretty much went from from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
you pretty much you know broke down where you came from and where you at now. So I definitely wanted to give the people a glimpse
Okay.
on who you are, and I think you did real good at that. So that's why I asked
Okay.
you too. Did you see any future in you cooking like elsewhere? You know what I'm saying? Because it's always good to always get better at something that you like to do. And being that you was on some of your food was on TV before and stuff like that. You may want to take a little culinary class. This is just my opinion. You may want to take a little culinary class. You get a few certifications and stuff, and maybe you maybe could start being a chef for local places in your neighborhood, and then elsewhere. You never know where it might take you, bro.
Yeah,
This might be it might be
yeah,
this
that's
might
what
be
I'm
your
really
career.
right. That's what I'm really thinking about. Tell the truth. That's what I'm really, really thinking about. Take some classes, because I already know about the cooking, but because see, like I said, before you turn over to the chat and everything, I know the business of restaurant. Cause my father had done that. You know what I'm saying? So I know the business very well. But I know I got to be real acquainted of it, because it ain't what it used to be. Because you have to understand one thing. If you look at these different cooking shows, they do a lot of dirt. They don't really cook. They don't really cook like full course meals no more. So there is that. So for me, I have to really, really fit in, because there's a lot of cutback. There's a lot of throughout the year. There's a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, They want to cook a whole chicken though. We want to make it out of souffle and all that stuff. So, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm like at the crossroads of that.
No doubt, no doubt. So I just put it out there, y'all have any questions for the guest, Chef JT, y'all could put them in the chat now. I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat real quick. Shout out to my brother Doug. Peace to you. Good looking for coming through. Shout out to my sister Majestic. Glad to see you. Shout out to my sister Thankful Sunday. Good looking for coming through and showing support. Shout out to my brother PGS. Good looking for coming through. Peace to my sister Bismillah. Good to see you. Shout out to John Doe. Peace to the God. Peace to Organic True Vision. Good to see you. Glad you here listening in. Shout out to Megalodon. Good looking for coming through, bro. Shout out to Cat PY2. Good looking for coming through. Showing love. Shout out to Living Soul Journey. It's always a pleasure to see you, sis. See who else we got.
But can I say something, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I forgot one thing too. When I was talking about Brooklyn, I also during the time when I was in the Bible study, I was actually giving out condoms for young people so they could protect themselves. Too, I forgot to bring that up too.
No doubt, no doubt. Shout out to Kate Brooks. Good looking for coming through, sis. Shout out to Mama Rika. Good looking for coming through. Wealth to you. Shout out to my brother D Red in the building. Shout out to Uncle Shug. And I see we got a few questions. PGS asks, what is your favorite thing to cook?
I can't answer that. I'm Chef JT. Wherever hits me, that's when I do my thing. That's it.
No doubt, no doubt. Good looking on the question, PGS.
Excellent question.
John Doe asks, is there something you would want people to know about you that people may not be aware of?
There's a whole that question. I can answer that for like 3 hours. Well, I'm gonna let that. I think the one thing that I want people to know, I go very hard for our people, and I love our black women, and I fight for the liberation of our people, and I'm all about the brotherhood. But there is one thing I would not tolerate. I would not tolerate for no fuckery. I will not tolerate for anything that less of us that we doing. So if I'm gonna bang on you, black man or black woman, of the fuckery, I'm gonna let you know. But as for me, like I said, I've been there, done that. I go hard for my people. All you have to just look on my channel. I did the banging. I did all that. I'm in transition. I'm in transform. Whatever I say, there's scholarship. Whatever I do, I did it. And all I'm just doing, whatever I done in the past, I don't want us to be going through. I go hard for my people. Like I said before, JT Blackness is in the corner, but I don't want that to come out. Respect my value. If you don't respect my value, I'm going to go through you. For the voiceless ones. Excellent question, Jonathan. Excellent.
Shout out to Jarvis Davis for looking for coming through, my brother. Welcome to SheepstaysleepTV. If you have a question for the guest, put the question in the chat. Cat PY2 asks, do you have your own recipe book yet?
Huh?
You heard the question, bro?
No, I didn't hear it.
Cat PY2 asks, do you have your own recipe book yet? Or do you plan on creating your own recipe book?
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that next year. Thinking about it. It's going to take time because you know, I got to talk about the season. I got to talk about the meats. I got to talk about the noodles go with it. You know, everything incorporates. So for me doing cooking, that recipe book got, you know, it's got to have my, excuse me, it's got to be correct.
No doubt, no doubt. Let me see. Doug says, what was your experience growing up in New York dealing with the Black Panthers?
Man, that was a fun time. That was as a little boy, it was like you in kindergarten, right? And when you with the Black Panthers, within a few years, you graduate out of college, but you 8 or 9, because you start learning the world. You start learning what things going on. Like I said always before, like I always say this before, people always want to talk about the physical and emotional, but the mindset, they teach me of the mindset of white supremacy and the symbols of white supremacy that sometimes we tend to forget about. And let me repeat that again. They show me the mindset and the symbols of white supremacy, the policies, the legislation of it, that people infuse of this government and also other governments around the world. It's a global substance of white supremacy. That's what they showed me. They didn't show me just the United States, but globally, how they had an impact of melanin people, especially. That's what I learned from it.
Lady Majestic asks, what are some authors / speakers that inspired you?
Ooh, great question. Francis Wessing, Dr. Joyce McGrew, Malcolm X, especially one of the greats. Dr. John Henry Clark, one of the greats. Amos Brown, one of the greats. Adam Clayton Powell, James Baldwin, Nikki Giovanni, Angela Davis, Oh man, there's a oh man, there's a lot. I can go on. I can go on. But that's just a few on top of my head. Um, that inspired me. Mo.
No doubt, no doubt. Shout out to my brother D Prince in the building. We're looking for coming through, brother. If you got any questions for Chef JT, put it in the chat. Let me see if we got any other questions that I missed. I don't see any more now. I'm gonna see if um people put any more questions in the chat. Oh yeah, I see one. Jarvis Davis says, "Do you work out?"
I try to work out the best I can. I do take my walks, but I definitely got to work more and do workout. You know, it's a process and everything because I do security, so I do work out through security. But the personal workout, that's one of the things I got to work on and everything. So it's a process. Excellent question, though. Excellent question.
The brother D Prince asks, "In this day and age, should we still be entertaining segregation, or should we be establishing a power within this integration?"
That's an excellent question. But this is the thing that us as a people have to understand. In this system, we got to make the best of us. But at the same time, and I'm going to go back to my concepts again, we got to start leasing capital. And I'm not talking about the mind, I ain't talking about the finance concept. I'm talking about the overall concept. We got to develop a capitalistic mindset. When you develop a capitalistic mindset, that actually let us know that we don't have no parts of this system. But at the same time, we gotta have certain steps how to go about it. We gotta start leasing ourselves to this certain basic system that is not giving anything back to us, but we gotta make it work for us. But at the same time, the only way, I don't know if that's going to happen in my generation, but the only way of our people, if we're going to be part of this human race, humanity, we have to know our ills. We have to learn certain mistakes that we made. And also we have to understand too that there are certain examples that we stood up for ourselves and we have our own. Just like Rosewood, Florida, just like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and also Brooklyn, New York, too. I want y'all to search for my channel. I did Brooklyn, New York, part 1 and 2. So we do have examples, but at the same time, dealing with some our people is so sick. We in this green that we still leasing. But the only way we're going to develop, we just have to learn how to save. We have to learn how to conserve our wealth. Conserve our wealth and to hold our wealth. When we do that, that means we gain power. If we keep on leasing our wealth, we never going to build. We have to understand, we have to develop this substantial thinking. We have to understand that is the only way that it's going to move. And it's going to take each and every one of us to learn, to know how this condition is right now so we can build on the system. But at the same time, we can help build this capitalistic for our people. So when it's time, we can lead the system. We would have every aspect of every levels that we could have. We could have our own government. We could feed ourselves. We could make our own thing. But until then, we gotta make the system that we gotta have some benefits of it, but we gotta grow from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. He definitely he said he liked your answer, so you definitely answered it for him. John Doe asks goals 5 years ago, and have you accomplished any of them yet? If so, what did it teach you about yourself?
Survive. My character. And I succeeded all. But at the same time, I'm humble and I'm still growing. When I left from New York, there are some family members saying that I would not make it. And I heard it. By the grace of God, of my character, I succeed that. I'm still here 5 years. Moral victory sometimes could help you a long way, people. Let me say it again. Moral victories. I'm talking about moral life event victories will prepare you to be that strong person. And so wherever I go to, I go back 5 years ago. Even the ex was saying that I would never make it. But who's laughing now? And I had to laugh at that because the ones that are always going to knock you down, those are the ones that love you, that you think that they love you. So I succeeded. I succeeded. So now it's time to pass it on to others. Does that make sense?
No doubt, no doubt. Megalodon asked, did you create your own logo? The logo that you have here, did you create it?
You mean on the underrated darkness and all that?
Nah, this logo that you have up here as your avatar. He want to know, did you create this logo?
That. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, I got a question, bro. I'm just gonna be a little different. Do you like pets? Do you like pets?
Now in the house, I don't. Now, do I believe they have a part in God's mind? Yes. But now in the house, no. I got bit by a dirty German Shepherd. When I was 8, and I ain't like that shit. My mama had to rush me on my farm. Let me tell you this truth, my late father. And then I remember I got bit by one. That motherfucker when I used to get off the bus, that motherfucker would not let me get in the house. This motherfucker, I'm gonna tell you, this dog was a devil. He used to chew pencils. I ain't going in no house. I mean, my mom's told you, let me explain something to you. He bit but at the time I was the youngest. He didn't like my second older sister, and he definitely ain't like me. And my mother said, look, Herschel, let me explain something to you. Baby, put another thing she said, baby, put your hands over your ear. But I did not cheat though. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna be me or that dog. You like the warmness of the bed, don't you? Now, you know he just came home from being, but I would train. No, what it's gonna be? What decision you think my father made? My late father made. That dog was gone. And after that, I've been scared like dogs. I don't want to see no dog. I ain't trying to hear that. And I think that's throughout the years. That's what I like. Some women they like to. Nah, I ain't dealing with no dog. Nah, I ain't dealing with no pets. I ain't trying to see no pets jumping on no couch. No, and I gotta take them out. I gotta pick up. Nah, that ain't me. So I kept it real. No, our pets have a place for other people. I appreciate what you're doing, but JT, nah. Shit's hard enough trying to contain my own household. Why I gotta wait for a pet? Nah, that's all right. I'm good. I'm good.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, bro. I just had to ask that because I'm a pet guy. I like pets. We don't have no pets at my house here, but I'm definitely, for 2018, I'm definitely thinking about buying my first two pet snakes. I like reptiles and stuff like that. So that's why I asked you that, bro.
Okay.
But if y'all got any more questions, like I said, put it in the chat because we getting ready to close out. So it's looking like, there's no more questions right now. So you want to say anything before we close out, bro?
Well, I do. Subscribe and like to my channel, The Darkness Awakens. Subscribe and like to Sheep Says Sleep. And the other in the chat, I'm gonna do it my form, how I do it on my platform. Brothers and sisters, subscribe and like in the chat. And to understand that we're in dire straits of our community. And we have to understand we got to look out for each other now. The tax bill had went through. They're gonna try to push it to Christmas. It's done. The Obamacare is gone. And we have to we have to really talk about these issues. I know I'm getting off the subject. I'm sorry, but subscribe, and not just subscribe, but participate. And like I said, subscribe and like to my channel, The Darkness Awakens. Comment. She stay sleep. Let's get them likes up on this powerful and other ones she say sleep do. And I'm just saying, D to S to the one, I am humble. I am very humble of this opportunity tonight. And I don't take nothing for granted. And I want people to understand that the underrated darkness is always a fighter. And I'm not going to get it right all the time. But you best to believe I'm going to bring my troops. I'm going to bring whatever I can to impact our community. And like I always say, I just want to play ball. And I remember I always said, I let play ball. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to play ball. No matter the haters like it or don't. If I have to go through y'all, I have to go through the haters. I have to do it. But I'm going to play ball for our community. And I'm always going to do whatever I can to be there no matter what. So again, DS1, peace to you and your foundation. Tell your lovely wife to say hi for me and my nephews. And I'm just letting you know I'm humble. And thanks again to let me open up. Because for a very long time, I had been thrown away of YouTube. And for me to open up, no, this is me. Take it or leave me. That's it. Again, I'm humble. Thank you so much.
No doubt, man. You know, that's that's what we here for, man. We have to empower each other as brothers. That's what it's about, man. It's about restoring and recapturing the brotherhood, man, because you know, the black man image today in society is tarnished, man. You know, everybody hate us. You know, so we gotta start, you know, champion each other, you know, start acknowledging one another, you know.
Yes.
And we gotta restore brotherhood, man, because I think with a strong brotherhood between good brothers, it'll always trickle down to our families and trickle down to our women. You know, this is why I speak to the brothers, because we got to get ourselves right. You know, we don't need to be, you know, just speaking on women. We need to check ourselves. You know, because once we check ourselves and our women see that the brotherhood has been restored, I think they'll automatically get it together. Most of them. You know, so I advocate for brotherhood, man. So I advise all the good brothers, you know, like I just said in the chat, if you want to be interviewed, if you want to promote your business, anything, brothers or sisters, but I'm mainly advocating for my brothers. Email me, hit me up, and let me know what's up, man. This was a very good interview. Everybody in the chat was pleased with this interview, bro. You know, so it was an excellent thing for us to do tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming through and tuning in to the interview, tuning in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV, supporting Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Make sure you go support and subscribe to my brother Chef JT. You know, one of my lovely mods, Majestic, she put his the link to his channel in the chat. Make sure y'all go and show the brother some love, man. And like I said, shout out to y'all again. Shout out for always supporting us. It's very much appreciated. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. Just tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to DS1 Alliance. Shout out to all my supporters. Everybody who's watching, who's been watching, and who will watch in the future. So I'm your host, DS1 Ross again. Just tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. We advise all the sheep to stay asleep. Wise ones awaken. And remember, y'all, gotta heal before we build. Because if we build before we heal, we just gonna keep hurting ourselves. And based on the climate of the situations in this world that's definitely starting to hit the fan now, we can't do this no more. We can't continue to hurt each other. So let's heal, y'all. Let's heal before we build. So whatever we build could be strong. We need a strong foundation again. So I'm gonna end it on that. Everybody have a good night. I'll check you tomorrow. Sheep Stay Sleep TV. We out. Peace.
Peace, family. Peace.